his mom stayed 2 hours away in San Diego, and then his dad stayed like, well, you went to their house like an hour or whatever. Yeah.
That 5-hour drive down there.
Right. So by the time they actually was able to get there,
it was quick.
I think she was already pushing. Yeah.
Wait, reset. She has a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on Monday.
On Monday, yeah.
Oh, what a wonderful Mother's Day gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not for the grandmother though. Arnell was not there.
She wasn't supposed to fly out till Wednesday, and reset her water broke early Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how was delivery and everything?
Let me tell you something. Risa has made pregnancy like a breeze. I mean,
yeah,
she made it seem like it was nothing.
She said she only pushed for 20 minutes.
Right. Did
she get an epidural?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's right.
Well, she made it like a breeze. I mean, the whole pregnancy, all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And half the time when we were talking, I forgot she was pregnant.
Right.
Do you know if they want more kids?
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. Quickly too. They're gonna be then popping them out in the next
back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I asked her. I said, now that you done actually went through the whole thing, like, you know, like, do you still want more? Like, is it something you could do again or whatever? And she was like, yeah, I could definitely do it again. She was like, I'd probably wait like at least a year just to kind of recover. But they're not wasting that much time. She was like, yeah, she said I could definitely do it again.
They're gonna have them steps done. Right. But how many years apart are you and Risa?
We 22 months.
So like 2 years.
Yeah, she was born January of 88. I was November of 89.
Mm-hmm. So she'll probably do something similar. I'm supposed to be eating carrots, not chips. Dang it. With my dip.
All right.
It doesn't taste the same.
All right, let's do it. Boom shakalaka.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
It's the second week in a row that you didn't say boom shakalaka.
Oh, you wanted to say it?
Not for you to say.
You want to say it?
You press the button.
You want to say it?
No. Welcome.
Just say it now. I'm saying you can say it now. And I just edited it in.
Welcome into another episode of The Worst Ones. Clearly, we already starting off bad because we arguing and we bickering and we fighting. Now, I am Kellie. It is the end of the school year for me. I am irritable and I am tired. And I am a preacher's kid. We got Janessa with the high pony. And she is
with the high pony.
We got Rudy with the fresh braids, and he is a preacher's kid. So today, since I have started us off, we're gonna start with Rudy. How are you doing? What's going on in your life?
I'm wonderful.
Tell us more.
You know, same old, going to work tonight. When this is all said and done, I sleep most of the day. But you know, I'm blessed, highly favored in the Lord. I watched a great interview today with on Shannon Sharp's podcast with he had Kellie Mitchell on there.
Who loves orange soda?
Yeah, and Kellie was just talking about, because if y'all don't know, Kellie's actually a pastor now.
No, I did not know.
Yeah, but he was just talking about so Shannon Sharp was kind of discussing all of his accolades, because you know Kellie, not only with All That and Kingdom Kellie, but Kellie has been on a lot of sitcoms as far as like either like guest appearances or even you know, doing a good, even if he wasn't like a main cast member, he did like a good handful of episodes on like the Steve Harvey Show, One-on-One, The Parkers, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So he was just kind of going through his whole resume. And then Kellie was talking about how, I guess, his perspective, as Shannon Sharpe was talking about his whole resume, he was just thinking about all that he was going through in his personal life while he was on TV, making everybody laugh and everybody enjoying him, but all the just say the dark times he was going through in his personal life or whatever. So then he got more into that. So y'all should check it out. I'm not going to go through all the details, but it was a good little.
About what turned him to be a pastor?
Yeah. So it ultimately, because of everything that he went through. I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say that turned him to be a pastor. It's in reference to him, I guess, more or less rededicating his life back to Christ, which then. After that, it then turned into the whole.
So was he called to be a pastor, or did he just feel like he had some experiences that he could talk about on the pulpit?
No, he just felt like he was called, but everything that he had been through led him to, I guess, living a more sold out life for Christ. And then the sold out life for Christ is what led to pastoralship. As opposed to what I was getting ready to say was everything he'd been through. Pushed him straight into pastoralship, I guess is what I don't know if it was that direct, but somewhere in there, everything that he had been through, led him back to Christ, and then it then led him to pastoralship. So, but yeah, it's a real good thing. They actually had live performances by Mr. Church's Whack himself, Ty Tribbett.
On the podcast.
Yeah. So they did it. They did it at a different location than what they would normally do it at. And Ty Tribbett, he performed. Yeah, he performed one song before they started talking. He asked Ty Tribbett maybe like 2 or 3 questions or whatever, and then they got into the interview with Kellie, which was about probably an hour 45, close to 2 hours, and then Ty Tribbett did the song at the end to close it out. So.
See, that's my thing. Was Shannon Sharpe the same one who did
Cat Williams?
Mm-hmm. The interview's too long. I don't care 2 hours about nothing what y'all got going on. I got 2 hours of my own life to live.
Yeah, so a lot of interview podcasts have started kind of being, because even the Joe Rogan, a lot of the bigger podcasts like that, like they be 2-3 hours easy. And if you're it helps if you're interested enough in the guest, because like somebody who you may not care about their whole story, like you'll be kind of looking at your watch, but like honestly, it goes by faster than you think, especially when it's kind of more on the background noise side of things. Like when you're not, you can kind of listen and be doing something else at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you have to just sit there and look at the screen the whole time. So, but yeah, so it gets interesting. It gets interesting once they start getting into the things that you haven't heard about. Like you may already know, like, okay, yeah, he was on all that, and then they got their own spinoff with Keenan and Kellie. But then when they start talking about all the other stuff, it gets pretty intriguing. So, I don't even know why I mentioned that, but yeah, that was stuff I heard today. So that was pretty cool. But other than that, yeah, I'm good.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm
done.
Is
Shannon Sharpe? What are his credentials? What's his resume include?
So he's a Hall of Fame football player, NFL player. Yeah, HBCU alumni. Actually, he went to Savannah State. And then he's a Hall of Fame 3-time Super Bowl winning.
From HBCU. That's dope.
That's dope. And then then after football, he got into like the sports analyst type of thing. So he was on a real big show for a while with, I don't know if you know who Skip Bayless is, but Skip Bayless is a legendary sports analyst type. They have, one of those shows on ESPN, Fox Sports type thing, whatever. And then he, and then so now you know who Stephen A. Smith is. You heard that name? So now Shannon Sharpe is on the show with Stephen A. Smith, but now he just created his own like media platform. So he has his own podcast where he interviews.
Because his interviews have been pretty popular. Yeah. I know some people have questioned his interviewee skills as a I guess regarding his background and the people that he chooses to interview. But I thought he was in sports. I'm guessing he probably started off in sports and then wanted to expand his horizons to.
No, he's always had like a variety, like because even if he has like a Magic Johnson or somebody like that, he's not talking about all sports. He's talking about just his life in general. But he's had Steve Harvey, DC Young Fly, Candy Burrs.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, Tabitha Brown. He got a pretty.
I had to listen one time. He just seems to. He doesn't draw me like he appears to draw other people. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it's just more or less the guest that he gets kind of draws people in, and Cat Williams was just kind of the catalyst to it being as big as it is now, because he's been doing it for a couple years now. But that interview, which is now at 69 million views, it kind of
that's what took him.
It took him over to that next level.
Because I didn't know who he was prior to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, good. Thank you for sharing. It was nice to hear from you today, Rudy, in our intros. We have to do this a little more often.
Yeah.
Janessa, our honor roll student, you're on mute just in case you start talking.
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little tired today. I did hike Arabia Mountain and some of the trails. Tried to do a midweek reset. Get a little exercise, because y'all know I'm a little scared to walk in my neighborhood. So decided to go to Arabia Mountain with a coworker / bodyguard. But we making it do what it do. So I did that. Of course, get in the garden together. One of the deacons at my church, he's, from the countries of Florida. He's been gardening since he was like 10. He's 83 now. He doesn't mind me saying that. So he has a lot of experience. And so he's been actually one of my biggest cheerleaders from day one. And this year we just made it happen. So him and his grandson, they come over to my house, and they've been setting up and, arranging, and they've been teaching me all sorts of things. Like, I didn't know your sweet peppers and your hot peppers can't be next to each other because that messes up with the growth, like just all sorts of stuff. So I got a lot that I'm doing this year, and I don't even think I quite realize how much I'm doing, but I think I have 2 squash plants, 12 pepper plants, that's jalapenos, bells, like the short sweet peppers. I have 6 tomato plants. Last year I had 1. I have cucumber plants, watermelons, cantaloupe, strawberries. And then he was telling me, because we were trying to figure out what to put in one of the raised beds, because I built my raised beds, but then I was given some other raised beds, so I have more space. And he was like, oh, leave those empty, because I'm going to give you 6 okra plants and sweet potatoes. We're going to put them all in here. And I was like, I don't even eat okra, but okay. I try to grow it. And then I have my herbs. I have lavender, lemon balm, mint, basil. And I found a stevia plant, like Splenda stevia. And I was asking him, like, how do you use it? And he was like, well, you just dry it up, grind it up. Well, let it dry out and then grind it up. You can put in your coffee, your tea, your food, whatever. So, like I said, he's just teaching me a lot of new stuff. So I'm really excited to see how everything grows. But at the same time, like, what am I going to do with 12 pepper plants? Who's going to eat all that?
I don't eat jalapeno peppers, but I'll take some bell peppers.
Yeah. So I've been telling people, like, I'm just going to give it all away. But I think it's low-key working into my purpose. And this isn't even a jewel for the day. Because I always said that I wanted to do something with like a community garden. I wanted to help with food insecurity. And if I mean, of course, could do it on a larger scale, great. But you can't just jump in the ocean. You got to first swim in the pond. So if I'm able to, use what I have now and just help people, and then, get it established and figure out the business side of it. Maybe that's something later for the day. And even though that was not my jewel, that's gonna be the jewel. You can't jump in the ocean. You gotta swim in the ocean.
You got it early.
There you go.
All right, amen.
And Mother's Day was great. Just spent time with my mom.
Good.
And Jessica.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kelly, what's been going on with you?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm in my last 2-3 weeks of work. but I'm tired. I've been drinking and eating because of stress. But I got 2-3 more weeks left. Like I said, I'm irritable and crazy and all over the place. But I got 2-3 more weeks left. So
how are the children doing? Are they doing any better?
Nah, man. Tell me why. Speaking of Mother's Day, I'm gonna tell you this one story, then I'm gonna be gone. Tell me why some of my middle schoolers stole a school bus.
Oh wow.
Went joyriding and recorded themselves on Instagram Live on Mother's Day. Now, where were their mothers?
How is it? They hot wired it?
So I'm guessing the keys were actually in the school bus. And so, usually they're like at a school or something like that. They house all of the school buses. So I don't know if they went, to see if they can find one where the keys are in it or what. But no, they had the keys.
Wow.
7th graders.
Oh. Wow.
7th graders. So no, they're not okay.
Are they? I mean, what happened to them when they got caught? Like, are they in jail or what?
So I know they're suspended now. I don't know if they actually arrested them. I'm sure they will. I have to find out tomorrow when I go back to that school. But I definitely know that they're suspended and probably will face expulsion.
What grade is? What age is middle school?
So middle school is
like 11 to 13, kind of.
Yeah, 11 to 14.
Yeah.
Dang.
So 7th grade is probably 12, maybe.
12, 13. Yep.
I think I was watching Pokemon.
Right. I wasn't thinking nothing. I mean, I'm a big 30-something, and I'm not thinking nothing about stealing a school. I can't even drive a school bus. I can barely drive my little 2-door car, let alone the school bus. I said, and they drove it and didn't get into an accident? That's what I'm still trying to figure out.
Right.
I said, you can't tell me that they took that big old bus out the parking lot, drove it down the street, and came back and parked it. I don't believe it.
Where was all the security measures as far as so the gate was open, the keys was in the school bus? Like, how was figured,
what are the odds?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
how want to steal a school bus?
Okay.
And what makes you think a school bus isn't going to be seen, tracked, found?
I mean, they recorded it, so they obviously
on a Sunday,
right,
of all day. Like, what is a school bus doing out on a Sunday?
Where was their mamas? Like,
that's what I said on Mother's Day. Their mama said, "Leave me alone on Mother's Day." They one of those mothers, with some mothers that want to spend time with their kids on Mother's Day, and there's some mothers who say, "Daddy and uncle and whoever, y'all take care on Mother's Day and let me be by myself." Clearly, it was those mothers.
Wow.
So, no, these kids are not okay. They out here doing crazy stuff. Crazy criminal stuff. We had a kid bring a gun to school the other day. Middle school.
Was that the one that in DeKalb County?
That's another one.
I was about to say there was another one. Something was going on at MLK Middle School. They were under lockdown. Someone was trying to get in with a gun not too long ago.
Okay, no. So to answer your question, I forgot who asked, but the kids are not okay.
Yeah, that was Janessa.
Pray for them.
Gotcha. Okay. All righty. Well, did you want to?
No.
Discuss it? Okay. Well, so our topic for today that Kellie kind of chose for us, low key, that we're going to discuss today. I'm going to show the video. Well, see, because I think Janessa presented the video, but I'm saying you was like, yo, let's talk about that one. Is what I'm saying. So I'm going to play the video.
Oh, good, because I gotta see
of the Golden State Warriors, which is an NBA basketball team. For those of y'all who don't know, they apparently sponsored a worship service for their for some of their fans, and so we're going to watch this, then we'll discuss further.
Are you Lord?
All right, I let it play twice. I think it was skipping a little bit in the first time it was playing. So today we're going to discuss the Golden State Prayer Warriors.
Oh my gosh. It had to register because I was like, oh, Golden State Warriors. I was like, wait a minute.
She told me I'm not the witty one. I helped though.
So
I gave a bad idea, which made him think it was a good idea. That's my job.
So let's discuss. I guess first of all, just you guys' thoughts about it, and then I know there was a question posed in the pre-chat about branching out to other religions as well. But let's just discuss it as a whole. Go ahead, Kellie.
So I think there is absolutely no issue with this at all. I think it is beautiful to do. I know, but I don't know how to talk about it without talking about the question, because that's what I was going to say anyway.
Go for it.
Basketball teams have a lot of post-games activities. So my uncle's church, Berean, has done a worship night for the Atlanta Hawks. And they started with more of the praise songs, and then it goes into worship, and and so I think that's something normal. Again, they have a lot of post-games activities. When I went to one of the Hawks games in December, they did like a Hanukkah Jewish themed halftime, and then they had like a post-game activities, as well. And sometimes pregame as well. And so I think, again, I do think it's inclusive, and I do think that it should be inclusive. And as you can see, I'm sure for the Golden State Warriors, that stadium was mostly filled, an hour or two before the post-game activity. But only the people who wanted to engage in that part stayed.
About 13 people at that worship service.
It was more than 13. Thank you.
They had more people on the team than on the
it was more than 13. But either way, big or small, they say that we are going to host this for the fans that want to be involved and included in a worship night. And so, again, I love the idea. I know for a fact that it's not just specific to the Warriors. And I love that they get, like I said, for the Atlanta Hawks, local churches involved. So my uncle Kerwin, who pastors Big Berean, is a Hawks season ticket holder. And so he goes to most of the games and is, a dedicated fan, and so to bring in not only, bring in his I'm trying to figure out the word I want to say, profession, his life, his whatever,
his ministry.
His ministry, yeah. I was gonna say business, but not really a business, but but to bring in his ministry, hey, they come and support what we do. We have this platform to support their ministry as well. I thought that was great. And again, I didn't even know when I walked into the stadium that day, or the arena, I didn't even know that Berean was singing. And I heard them say Berean Christian Church, and I'm like, Berean? I'm like, that's my church.
Right.
They did the national anthem, and they did some, some like I said, they did some pre-show songs with pre-game songs too. So, like I said, I think it's an awesome idea. I love
worship songs pre-game. Like Christian songs, church
songs. Yeah, it was all church songs. Some of them were like the more, because I stayed for a minute afterwards, and then some of them were like the more upbeat song, the praise songs, but I'm sure they got into some worship as well. White people like to worship though. I feel like we like to praise, and they like worship. Y'all, for the people who are listening, they are smiling and shaking their heads and agreeing. I'm not gonna let them leave me out here like I just said that. They are smiling and agreeing for the ones on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google. For the ones not watching on YouTube, they are agreeing. So, because I noticed that sometimes when you play it back and you say something and the other people are agreeing silently,
Right.
Nobody sees that. So you feel like you out there on your own. Like, nah, they agree, man. I gotta say, they agree. But nah.
Kelly, I have a question about these events because you have more knowledge than I do. So, like, when Berean did the praise night, do you have to pay for it? Do you just have to bring your own musicians and instruments, or how does that work?
So that's a good question. I'm assuming that right, you bring your own again, it was their praise team, it was their choir lead. I'm assuming they probably I don't know. I guess they brought their own instruments as well, is what I'm thinking. That they brought all of their stuff there for it. Mm-hmm. I've been to a house game when Tasha Cobbs did halftime.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I remember Kurt Franklin doing it back in the day.
I've been there with Tasha Cobbs.
Gospel night at the Hawks game.
Like I said, I was there when they did a Hanukkah night. They did like a Chinese lantern show one time. And so they do try to be culturally inclusive. And so, like I said, I respect that. I think it's great. Again, everybody, what I love about it is like everybody has to kind of somewhat participate during halftime if you're still sitting there, but for the extra activities afterwards, it's your choice on whether you want to stay or leave. And so for the 300 people that were still there, not 13,
I don't know for 300,
for the 130 people that were still there, not 13. They chose to stay, chose to worship. I loved it. Go Golden State Prayer Warriors. I like Golden State. Go Steph Curry.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a problem with it. I hadn't seen the post praise event. I don't know what you want to call it, but I hadn't seen that till I saw it on Instagram. And then when I was reading through the comments, that's when I was seeing like other people were saying, yeah, a lot of other teams do this. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I don't know, do they advertise it? I'm not really a sports person, so maybe I just missed it. But Kelly, do you know if they advertise it like in advance?
They sometimes they do. Like sometimes, like if you sign up, like I get some of the emails, and so I'll know like it's Star Wars night or it's this night, or, if you open it up, it'll tell you, gospel night, or whatever, halftime show by Tasha Cobbs. Because for some people, that brings them in.
Right.
Now, no shade. Berean is great, but Berean choir may not bring people in to the game just to see Berean choir because they can go see them at church on, they can go to Berean and see them at church on Sunday. But, Tasha Cobbs there, you may bring in a different spectator than you would typically to go and see her. I get a game and I get a show. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to figure out is if it was advertised, because I think I like the idea, and I was just trying to figure out, how can we get more people involved maybe, so it's not, as Rudy says, 13 people who are
30.
The 32 that were there. But I will say, when I was looking at it, I think there's, a variety of reasons why it might have been less people. Depending on if it was, on a Thursday night, people might have to go home. They got to get their kids together, whatever. So maybe, that's for the Saturday game at 1. Now, I don't know if they have games at 1 for NBA. I don't watch sports like that. But, maybe pick a day where people could attend. And I like the idea of what you said. Like if you had a Tasha Cobbs or somebody, during halftime, that would potentially bring people in. And then even afterwards, like say it was Berean and a local choir, Kevin Lemons and Higher Calling, like a local choir that's well known, that might bring another, different people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just I think there's definitely ways that could make these worship nights or worship days, whatever you want to call it, even more impactful. I'm glad, Kellie, you were able to speak on this, because that was my other concern was, are they allowing other religions to have their whatever as well? Because I can definitely see where that can cause some problems. But if other religions are able to have different events as well, I think that's great. I don't want to really speak on what they could do, because I don't know what they do. But yeah, as long as I guess it's equal opportunity, and there's not like discriminating, then cool.
Hey y'all, sorry to interrupt, but we have a few church announcements. Follow us on Instagram at TheWorstOnesPK. New content coming soon. We also have a TikTok at TheWorstOnesPK. No content yet, but continue to check us out. If you want to, when you listen to our podcast, you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast. Just make sure you type in The Worst Ones Podcast and you'll find us. And when you get there, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share. Thank you to our 500,422 followers. We love you so much. Now, back to the show.
I wonder, I don't know if Rudy or Kellie, if y'all know, do other sports in general have like worship nights, like just baseball or
that I don't know,
football or soccer? Because that's really big in Atlanta now with the soccer thing going on. So.
I went to the soccer game last weekend. What's today? Wednesday? I went to a soccer game Saturday. And they don't really, soccer games not as fun as NBA games. So NBA, and I haven't been to many football games, but NBA games, especially the Hawks, are probably the most entertaining things ever. Like they pride themselves on entertainment. I remember telling my nephew, like, Atlanta United, which is a soccer team, needs to take some notes from Hawks, because I'm like, this is boring. First of all, soccer. and then I'm like, and then your little. Well, they don't really have. They have like just one halftime. They really don't have timeout, so the clock just runs in soccer. But I'm like, but this is boring. So I haven't seen. I've been to a couple of Atlanta United games. I haven't seen them have any like themes or guest artists other than like the national anthem or something like that. I haven't seen anything else. You know what? I lie. I see soccer promote art more. So there's a couple of times where I've been there where they promoted like artists or clothing lines or those things more so than like music. So they may just have a different clientele. Football games, I don't really go to, so I don't know much about them.
I didn't even know the basketball teams were doing the worship stuff until this video. So I'm not aware in reference to that. I do know that sports teams in general, I guess except for the soccer, they usually kind of try to pride themselves on entertainment, because that's what, or even having different themed nights, because that's what kind of draws people in. So you may have like, closer to back to school, you may have like a, kids last day of summer night, or closer to Valentine's Day, you may have a lovers night, or you may have a just whatever. So I didn't realize they had stepped over into the just say religious area. I wish I would have watched the actual like interview, but I remember it might have been around Super Bowl time or something, but I know Cam Newton, he's kind of more into the media and stuff and interviewing people or whatever. And I remember him asking Kurt Franklin, does he think that they will ever have they were talking about Usher's Super Bowl performance, halftime performance. He was saying, do you think they will ever have a gospel Super Bowl halftime?
What Kurt said?
Well, that's what I was saying. I wish I would have watched. I didn't watch it. I just know that I know that was the question he asked, and I've always meant to go back and watch it, but I just keep forgetting. And so having this conversation, I'm saying I wish I would have watched it to be able to kind of elaborate on it. But to me, I think that would be pretty dope, but I think it would be dope for us who are gospel artist fans, or a.k.a. even just say followers of Christ. But I think for one, the United States being just say and I'm using air quotes, Christian, country, I think that's why they're probably more leaning towards like being able to have just say the worship service, or even just say have a Christian gospel halftime show for the Super Bowl versus just say one of the other religions. But I do see how that could cause like a big level of controversy, because now you're talking about like religion and beliefs and stuff versus a hip hop versus a country artist, during halftime. That's just a matter of taste. It's like, okay, well, if you don't like country, you can just not watch it. If you don't like hip hop, you can just not watch it. But at least we're not offending anybody in reference to like beliefs or whatever. So that's why even when you were saying, Kelly, when you kind of mentioned that they were singing songs pregame, that's what made me kind of ask again, like, oh, they singing gospel songs pregame, because it's one thing to have the worship service after the game, and then whoever wants to just stay can stay. It's another thing if, as people are showing up, like do you let them know, yo, we're gonna be doing this, Christian thing beforehand, so you can be a little late to the game if you don't want to hear it, or do you just walk in and you just get the spirit just off the, off contact, you know what I'm saying? But I know that definitely Christians, if they walked in and it was another religion in there going crazy with whatever it is they do, like I don't know if we would like cancel going to the Hawks, but they probably would feel some type of way because of like, whatever, versus saying, hey, after the game we're going to do a Muslim thing or whatever the case may be, and then you can just leave before it starts. So that's what made me ask again, because I just thought that was pretty interesting that they would do it pregame like that.
So that's how I knew they were there, because I walked in. First of all, today was a rare time that I'm actually on time somewhere, right? But I'm never on time ever,
right?
And so most times, even to the Hawks game, I'm never on time ever, right? To even see the pregame. It just happened to be that one time that I saw the pregame that I'm like, oh, it's Marin.
right.
But otherwise, I really can't tell you what happens in the pregame. But and maybe because I frequent sporting events, and so I know that they, like I said, are culturally inclusive. That I wouldn't feel some type of way. Again, like I wasn't particularly interested in the Hanukkah Jewish, you know what I'm saying? But it was there. I probably talked through it halftime. It was what it was. I think because it's a sporting event, I'm open to whatever it is. Now, if we're talking about, I'm walking into, I don't know, a church, and I see that they're doing something, out of the norm of what I'm used to in my Christian faith, then I may, turn up my nose and be like, oh no, I can't do this. But for a secular event in general, I'm kind of, I'm kind of probably not feeling more like if I saw them doing something towards the other religion. Do they do this for what you call this too? Like they had HBCU night, they had sorority D9 night. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have E9 night, I went that night too. That excludes, all of the African American people that did not pledge, and it excludes most of the other races that did not pledge D9. You know,
right.
And so I think it's always going to just be specific to different populations. But I think again, as long as they include everybody, I think it's fine. I think it'll be unfair if you went in for your first game and it wasn't a night that they included what you are interested in or something that you're a part of, and then you just say, I'm not going anymore. I think it would be important to research. Like I said, because again, they had Star Wars night. I don't care about Star Wars, but I got a Star Wars Atlanta Hawk shirt, because they try to, they get everybody in there. They had LGBTQIA plus night. I'm not a part of the community. Hey, enjoy, have fun.
But what I was gonna say is I don't even think that they necessarily cater to everybody. They cater to all the groups that have made it clear in some form or fashion that we would want to be just say cater to. Because even me thinking about the whole Divine Nine or HBCU, like, because the real thing would be like to include everybody as far as like college wise, would just be to have a college night, and then no matter what college you went to, whether it was HBCU,
and they probably do that too,
a PWI, or even DeVry, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Like you could rep it, but but I guess what I'm even getting at is I feel like they probably had a college night prior to having an HBCU night, because at some point in time HBCUs became more relevant to society, in which they then said, okay, now let's add that to the mix, because ultimately they want to get fans to come out. You feel what I'm saying? We want to get, so it is a little, political, and I think that you can benefit even if somebody's only doing things for politics, because the people who wanted to stay for that worship service, or even who didn't realize it was going to be one, and they may have had an encounter with God on this random, Thursday night game, whatever like that, and they happen to be just staying around talking to somebody, lingering or whatever, and the next thing you know, they worshiping. I guess there are benefits to it, but I'm clear on the vision of them doing the religious stuff after the game. I just found it very interesting, and I think it's dope as well. But I didn't think that they would do even a halftime, let alone a pregame of just say the more religious take, because especially halftime, like whoever's there, you're there. You know what I'm saying? So if Tasha Cobbs is singing "Break Every Chain" at halftime,
she did.
And you know what I'm saying, I believe she did. And and you don't care anything about God or religion, or just say maybe even you're atheist or whatever. That could be equivalent to, and not saying this would happen, but just to make an example, somebody performing some type of witchcraft, sorcery, or whatever like that at halftime, and now you just there just taking it in. Now for us, Tasha Cobbs doing, a halftime performance, of course I can easily view that as good for everybody, because I know the truth, you know what I'm saying? I understand who God is, who Christ is, whatever like that. So I know it can be beneficial, but I guess I can see where that line can seem like it's being crossed as far as the halftime performance versus the post game. So I guess that's what I just found that really interesting. I didn't think, and I'm actually going to watch the Cam Newton, Kirk Franklin little mini interview that they did. It's only like 11 minutes. I was just looking it up just now on YouTube to see what that conversation was like, because I think it would be dope to have a gospel halftime performance for the Super Bowl. But how would it work with the masses? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So hypothetically, if we could have one, both you and Kelly, and I'll think of mine too, who would be your gospel Super Bowl lineup?
Well, definitely got to be Kirk Franklin.
Right.
Yeah, Kirk got to be
first and foremost.
I agree. Kirk would have to be on it.
It'd be Kirk and Friends for me. She give me Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess I can kind of go first. I think it would just depend on how they would do it. Like, is it a blend of everybody, or is it like how Usher just say is the main person, and then he may bring out an Alicia Keys, whatever like that. So if you got like a one main person, I think you go with Kirk Franklin, because he's gonna have the most, just say, diverse sounding music, as well as at least in my opinion, I think he got the most hits out of any other gospel singer
Absolutely.
that I could, artist that I could think of. But if you were going to do like a blend, and let's just say if I chose maybe 3 to 5 people, I would like to see Kirk. I would probably go Donnie. I think you got to go, and you could probably join them together. I think you got to go BBCC.
BBC.
Throw Vicky in there too.
Right. Yeah, you might could just do a little wine and me. I guess, because I was trying to think of like just covering all the. You probably got to go. You might can go a Shirley Caesar just because of her beans, greens, tomatoes. You know what I'm saying? More people might have learned about her from there. But definitely Kirk, Donnie, BBCC, and maybe like I'm trying to think of somebody else who's like probably somebody who's more new, who I don't know like that. I know there's newer artists that are younger. They'll probably do like a Lecrae. They'll probably throw like a hip hop in there, like a Lecrae. Of course, I would want to name like a Yolanda Adams or like that. I just don't know how much like the world knows. I'm trying to think of people who like would be kind of more a broad stroke, but yeah, definitely for me, Kirk, Donnie, BBCC. I would like a Tasha Cobbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly, who you got?
Some of the same people. So I would do Kirk as the main artist. I would do Tasha. I like the Winans in there. I like Ty Tribbett because Ty Tribbett give you a little more of that, that energy. For sure. Like I said, I would probably have Kirk as the main and everybody else come out and do like 45, 60-second snippets of your most popping song.
Yeah.
But we gonna do Kirk all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you could even do a Tamla Man or what I'm saying? Like
right.
Just everybody just come out and do like
we just doing a little snippet of your most popular song, but we doing Kirk all the way. Because Kirk gonna give us a show.
Yes. I would have Kirk for sure. I would throw in Mary Mary.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because I need I know what you're saying with Shirley Caesar, but like my older people, and I'm not saying they old, are more seasoned people. I would have the Clark sisters. I really like Fred Hammond. Bless will take
that was my first concert.
Like Fred got some vibes, okay? And then if we want to go new, I would say Maverick City.
Yeah, that's a good one. I do like Maverick City.
City.
And I like the Walls group too. They got some nice voices.
They with Kirk. I think they were on his label. I think he signed them.
Yeah. So he can bring them along.
It's Kirk and Friends for sure. Because even Maverick City got a song with Kirk. I mean, it's definitely
a nice one. When they did it in the jail.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I can't remember it, but it's about.
Now, I will say this just because I'm his first fan. Probably not his first, but like his first fan after his family and his parents. PJ. That's just it. I need him to do He's My Rock with Jasmine. I haven't heard that in about 20 some years. So, bring that one out.
Now they could definitely bring out Bishop Paul Morton too. Now he can come sing. William Murphy, they'll let him come in there if they don't forgive him.
Too many, right? I got too many folks now, and they only got 12 minutes.
Comes out and sings Open the Floodgates of Heaven, Let It Rain, and it start raining. Talk about, this is why we can't, I wouldn't say we can't, but with the gospel community, when they start to shouting, we only got 12 minutes and 45 seconds.
Right.
They don't know how to shut it down. You got people running up and down the bleachers.
The players will be looking like, when do we start the next quarter? Like,
the usher board is gonna be all on the field.
Listen, right? They're gonna be falling out on the turf. They'll be like, we gotta get y'all up.
They try to do an altar call.
Right. Listen. Now I have another plot twist for you. Who would sing the national anthem? And is it America the Beautiful or whatever it's called? Who would you pick to sing gospel artists to sing those?
I would let Tasha sing the national anthem.
Same.
America the Beautiful. I'm trying to think. I think almost any of them could. A Donnie could. A Mary could. They could sing it together. I'm trying to think of like the real singers.
And throw in the Black national anthem too.
Right, for sure. Because at this point, Kirk ain't singing none of these. He ain't got,
No. That's not what Kirk does. No.
Right.
It's not Kirk ministry now. He the halftime performer.
You're right.
No.
Now Kirk ain't singing none of these.
Yeah, that's not Kirk.
I could see like Yolanda doing either a national anthem or America the Beautiful.
Yolanda for sure. I think any of the Winans could.
CC could come on in. She has a very beautiful voice.
She does.
I think Ron Winans, Marvin Winans. Any of them could. Honestly,
maybe all of them could do it together and give us some harmony.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think who else.
Marvin Sapp, we ain't throw him in there.
Marvin Sapp. He could be in the Friends too.
And Commission, just throw all of them in there.
Yeah. Marvin could definitely be with the Kurt Franklin and Friends too, for sure. I think maybe because of his voice and guitar playing, because I know a lot of times American the Beautiful is usually a guitar person. Jonathan McReynolds.
You know, in my head, that's like my boo thing, but he don't. I like Jonathan. I really do. Jonathan and Israel Houghton, maybe, with the guitar.
And who's the other guy I like? I don't know if he was seen the national anthem, but I definitely want him to be in Friends. Not Donnie. His name started with a D. Dietrich Haddon. Yeah, I like a couple of his stuff. Yeah,
Dietrich Haddon. Yeah, he could definitely come in with He's Able or something like that for sure. Yeah, no, Dietrich for sure.
If we have this gospel Super Bowl, it's not right unless we have the after Super Bowl worship. That one can be, because the Super Bowl ends pretty late. It could be like a midnight musical, because in Atlanta, those used to be a big thing. They literally would start at 10 and they went all night.
Well, it depends on what side of the country, because if they're doing it on the West Coast, it won't be that late over there. So they could, like, I mean, at least for the people that's in there in person.
Because that's when Ricky Dillard can come out and drop it low for us and bring it back up. No, and all the choirs, the good old choirs, could do the after Super Bowl concert.
Now, I think we also got to add in Pastor Keon Henderson so he can shush people as he's trying to sing.
In the name of Jesus.
He's shushing the whole stadium. I don't want to hear nobody's voice but his.
In mine.
That's when it's time for it to like transition from the
right.
whole performance.
Right, I'm gonna need y'all to bring it down into the worship setting.
Right.
Like he the transition, he the opening. To bring it down.
Right.
In the name of Jesus, I command y'all to cease all talking. It is now time for worship. I don't care if you believe in the Lord or not.
Right.
In the name of Jesus. Shut up.
Shut up.
So yeah, I think we have a pretty good lineup.
Kirk and Friends, I think would be lit. I hope they're able to pull that off one of these days.
Absolutely.
Before these jokers get too old. They definitely getting up there. All our heroes from back in the day, they definitely is, I mean, they I guess maybe not too old to sing, but like Kurt, as far as doing all the dancing and moving around, like he ain't gonna do that forever. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
what's it called? I saw not too long ago. We might even talked about it. Dietrich Haddon, I think, had a birthday party.
Yeah. With his wife grinding on him.
With his wife, but I didn't know. I think it was his 50th birthday.
His 50th,
Haddon turned 50.
Like, he just still look young. Yeah, but yeah, he up there.
Yeah, and he was always in my head, like, the younger one in the bunch of musicians, but he's 50.
Our age, right?
No, he is younger than them. That just should go to show how old they are.
Right, he was the younger one. they just a little older.
Yeah, they just.
Kurt Franklin?
He probably in his 50s, but I'm sure like Donnie and them Donnie at least 60 by now.
Kurt Franklin is 54.
54, yeah, that makes sense.
Donnie McCracken.
They actually bringing back the preacher.
64.
Really?
64, yeah.
Oh wait, Kurt Franklin's how old?
54. Donnie is 64.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, I really didn't know Kurt Franklin and Dietrich Haddon were that close.
Shirley.
In her 80s, right?
Shirley 85.
Yeah, I'm about to say
80s, right?
Shirley 85.
Shirley old enough to be talking about hold my mule. Ain't nobody got no mules no more.
Pamela 57.
Wow, I did not know this.
Yeah.
Yolanda is 62. 60. Man, she look good for 62.
I know she's 60 something. Yeah.
Ooh, she look good for 62.
I remember when she came to Spelman to sing, and that was many many years ago.
I'm sure Erica Campbell and Tina, I'm sure they about in their 50s somewhere.
Let me see.
Oh, I have a story about them.
Erica Campbell is 52.
52?
Mm-hmm.
So
they look good.
When Mary first came out, and Rudy, you might have been there. They had a table at the Full Gospel Conference when it was in New Orleans at the Superdome. And this is when Thankful, that album came out. And PJ was also at the booth. And when I say I walked right past Mary, I could care less that they was right there. Right. I wanted to see PJ, not knowing that they would become the Mary that we know today.
Right.
And I love Mary, but if I had to go back and do it again, I still walk right past them. I come back, but I gotta go see PJ
first. Right. Yeah, no. PJ's a big deal. He may not be just say the national household name as a Mary, but in reference to the music industry and even accolades, he's definitely very well known and respected, and awarded up for sure. So he ain't no slouch himself. Shoot, he might end up on the Super Bowl because have they done one? I'm about to say Maroon 5 done did one before, right?
It was in Atlanta. He already did it.
Yeah. So he didn't already beat Curtin to the punch. But yeah, I guess just even close out my thoughts about the Golden State Prayer Warriors. What I was going to say too earlier that I forgot. I'm less surprised about the Warriors doing it than just say find out other teams also do it, because I know that, which is why they probably use him as the little thumbnail picture. I know Steph Curry is a devout Christian and makes it very known or whatnot. And so I was even curious just as to wonder, like, what was any of that his doing? Did he have any suggestion towards it, or was that just something they just kind of did on their own? But I know he's like I said, he's very open with it, and so that's dope for them. But I think it's dope that they do that. I'm not a part of any of the sports teams, especially not the Tampa sports teams, like local mailing lists or whatever. But I might sign up for it just to see if they end up doing it at one of like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers games. We don't have a basketball team here. The closest one would be Orlando Magic's. But yeah, I would be curious. I went to a Tampa Bay Devil Rays game a couple weeks ago.
Now what is that?
That's their baseball team.
Okay.
And I was there pregame. They didn't have nothing going on besides concession. But they did have this guy who was apparently a local artist, black dude. He sung the national anthem and he sang his ass off. I was like, yo, this guy needs to be discovered. Like he sang. A lot of times when you see somebody that you don't know, you be half ready not to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
He caught my attention quick. I was like, yo, this Negro singing. So yeah, shout out to the Warriors. I think it's dope, even though they only got. That's one last thing too, Janessa. When you were saying about will they do it on just say a more prominent night, like a Saturday versus like a night people may got to go to work or school the next day. I hope they do. I don't know this for sure. This is just my speculation. They probably would do it on a more off night, because on the day that the bulk of the fans are going to be there, they're probably cater more to the masses on a more well-attended game versus just say a less attended game. But nonetheless, even if they only give us a small little corner to worship in, with our 32 people, that's still better than them not, doing it at all. So hopefully it'll grow and they'll put them in a position to maybe, possibly reach out to more people. But if not, it's still happening, and it still made it to social media for people to see, and and maybe more people to gravitate to it. So
sure.
So that's it. Now that we've got about to do these social media plugs, Kelly, we actually, it don't have to be today. We need to do another.
You got to catch me on a good hair day.
There need to be another video, because you still promoting a TikTok we don't have.
And Rudy, for our outro, you still have Melanated Bruise, and that needs to be changed to J Rihanna _.
My hair was beautiful yesterday, and then I drank too much and fell asleep on the couch, and I guess I sweated, and I woke up in the middle of the night.
Sweated.
Yeah, we need all new. I mean, even the intro video.
I agree. That was me. Well, I'm back. I'm almost that fat again, but I was a little fatter back then. I'm sorry. I told y'all I've been.
Yeah.
We are the worst ones. Thank you.
Oh, you got to do your.
You can't find me. But go on to the next one. Jay Wayne not here today. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay Rihanna. You
can find me at JRihanna_. We have fun over there. And I took my necklace off, but I got a couple of necklaces that say Rihanna on it. So
that's what's up.
I'm supposed to wear it today.
And what was the jewel again? You started in a puddle.
You gotta swim in the puddle. You gotta jump in the puddle before you can swim in the ocean.
There you go. There you go. All right.
Shout out. Shout out at Terry Wayne Comedy on all platforms. And his book is for sale, Unclaimed Ashes. I own one on Amazon.com. I haven't read it though, but I do own it. Rudy owns it too.
I own it too.
Yep. Shout out to our producer, my bestie, at Risa_G. Thank you for even all the people know she's pregnant. Even in your pregnancy, you still sending us topics. We love you.
Yes.
All righty. You want to close this out, Kelly? Let them know to follow us, subscribe, all that, and we are the worst ones, and then we out. Just say that.
Oh, I hadn't done that in so long. Follow us. Ooh,
you ain't got to give the plug. Just say, make sure y'all follow, like.
Oh, make sure you follow us on Instagram at TheWorstOnesPK. And when you get there, like, subscribe. Shit, that's not supposed to. What I'm supposed to be doing?
Okay. Y'all, thank y'all for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and on all the podcast platforms. Share with somebody, like and comment, and we thank y'all. We love y'all. We are the worst ones. We are out.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.